I adore Iceland. In fact, I've been there 5 times. Although it's not a large country, it packs a huge amount of amazing sights into its relatively compact footprint. But if you've never been, Iceland has its set of peculiarities and can be surprisingly expensive to travel to. In this video, I'm going to show you how to travel Iceland on a budget without sacrificing any of the adventure. Okay, first, I offer my sincere apologies in advance for my inevitable mispronunciations in Icelandic. Moving on. Unless you're traveling solo, you'll likely save a significant amount of money by making your own arrangements and not booking a guided tour. So if you're good with that, let's go into the details of a self-planned budget Iceland trip. The two most important pieces of advice if you want to save money in Iceland. First, book everything as far in advance as you possibly can, especially if you're going in peak summer season. Second, travel with other people. Splitting the cost of the rental car, gas, and accommodations will significantly reduce your per-person expenses. What else? Well, when to go. Iceland's hours of daylight varies a lot throughout the year. From 22 hours of sunlight at the summer solstice in June to only about 4 hours at the winter solstice in December. Now that being said, there's far fewer tourists in December than there is in June. Honestly, I'd go there any time of the year. During winter, you have a far better chance of seeing the northern lights, but alas, I still haven't seen them in my 3 autumn visits. How long of a trip? 4 of the 5 times I visited Iceland, I only stayed 4 to 5 days each. But the most epic trip was when I was there for 10 days and drove the entire ring road. But to do this, and to actually have time to stop and see all the amazing sights along the way, I'd suggest going for at least 8 to 10 days. Remember, your airfare will probably be similar whether you stay for 1 day or 2 weeks. Slow travel is generally cheaper. But if you only have 3 to 5 days, the South Coast packs the most blockbuster sites into the smallest footprint. Do the Golden Circle on the day you land, then drive to Vik and base yourself there and day trip to the loads of nearby sites. And if you're ambitious, do a long day trip from Vik to Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon, Diamond Beach, and the Múlaglúfur Canyon hike. If you want more details on this itinerary, I have another video on the ideal South Coast trip and the link is in the description. Flights. If you're coming from the US or Canada, there's lots of nonstop flights to Iceland. And most are pretty affordable if you book far in advance or during the low season. In fact, it's typically one of the cheapest places in Europe to fly to from North America. All eastbound flights to Iceland from North America take off in the evening and land in Reykjavik around 6 to 9 a.m. And most westbound flights back to North America depart late in the afternoon around 4 to 6 p.m. This makes an Iceland visit from North America very time efficient, since you have a full day on both your arrival and departure days to see the sights. But if you fly Iceland Air, keep in mind that it does operate with a la carte pricing, so you'll pay extra for seat assignments, checked baggage, and food. Transportation. Taxis in Iceland are absurdly expensive, and public transportation is not practical for most travelers. So definitely rent a vehicle and book it as far in advance as possible. It can be very costly to rent cars at the last minute. Outside Reykjavik, the driving is easy since the country is so sparsely populated. Weather will be about your only challenge. The distances can be pretty vast, but Google Maps works great for navigation. You might want a 4x4 if you go during the winter in case of snow, but any other time a 2-wheel drive compact car is going to be your most affordable bet. Many rental cars come with a discount chip on their keychains that will also give you a small fuel discount as well. You'll save significantly on the rate if you can drive a manual transmission or stick shift as well. You'll also want the smallest car that can accommodate your group, since gasoline and diesel fuel is very expensive, like over $10 a gallon. But most smaller rental cars are quite fuel efficient. The weather can also be very windy, so pay close attention when opening your vehicle doors. Doors can actually be damaged if they're open when a strong wind gust blows from behind. Now, although there's no admission fees for natural sites, pretty much every trailhead lot or tourist site charges for parking, typically about 750 to 1,000 kronur. Getting the Parka app will save you a bit of time on paying those fees. Every pay lot, though, usually has a kiosk and a posted QR code to pay if you don't have the app. Accommodations. If you're going anywhere outside of Reykjavik, book your accommodations far in advance. Many destinations are rural, very popular, and don't have much nearby accommodation. Airbnb is well represented all over Iceland, and I've had good luck with them. And there's also some small independent budget guest houses throughout the country. You can save a lot if you're willing to book places without ensuite bathrooms, meaning your bath or shower is down the hall. Typically, guest houses also have communal shared kitchens, so you can cook your own food, which will save you significant cash, since restaurants are very expensive. Now, most of these type of places can be found on booking.com. Then once you find them, try to book directly with the guest house to see if it's any cheaper. There's also a significant number of tourists who rent camper vans of various sizes during the warmer months. If that's your thing, it looks like a fun way to see the country. I haven't done it, but I would definitely consider it. If you go this route, be sure to figure out how many kilometers the rental includes and how far you're likely to go, because it can be very easy to exceed your allowed kilometers, and extra kilometers will add up quite fast. Given the amount of wind and rain that Iceland receives year-round, I would probably not recommend tent camping. Packing. Iceland's weather is famously unpredictable. Be prepared for anything. Regardless of the season that you go, you should definitely bring a wind and waterproof outfit along with weatherproof hiking boots. In both September and November, I saw many people wearing ski pants, even though there was no snow. You will not be going out anywhere requiring nice outfits or fashionable shoes. Iceland is very casual. Also, be sure to bring a swimsuit, since you'll definitely want to soak in a geothermal pool at least once during your visit. And if you bring along your own towel, you won't have to rent a towel at spas that don't provide them. Food and drink. So I saw this sign on the door of a Subway sandwich shop in a Keflavik shopping center. No $5 footlongs here. For a 12-inch sandwich, it's 24.99 kroners, which is a little over 20 US dollars. So if you want to save money, I'd strongly suggest getting most of your food from local grocery stores. Bonus and Kronen are the discount chains. Both stores also have sizable sections of prepared meals, sandwiches, and salads. So eat your breakfast and lunches at roadside picnic tables, cook in your accommodations if you can, and go out to eat sparingly. Bring an insulated refillable bottle for water or hot drinks, and never buy bottled water in Iceland. The tap water is some of the best in the world. Now, as I mentioned before, restaurants in Iceland can be surprisingly expensive, if you can find one. Reykjavik has literally every kind of restaurant you could hope for, but outside there, it quickly gets very rural, and outside of towns, there's few options other than the occasional food truck or gas station that sells hot dogs. I guarantee you'll be doing some of your own cooking. Bringing a soft-sided cooler in your luggage is a smart bet, since you'll inevitably be packing a few lunches. If you drink alcohol, buy anything you'll consume during your trip at the duty-free on arrival at the Reykjavik airport, after passport control near the baggage claim area. Iceland taxes booze, wine, and beer heavily in stores outside the airport, and beer sold in grocery stores cannot be above 2.25%. If you're going out to drink, happy hours with discounted drinks are pretty common at bars in Iceland. There is a Costco in Reykjavik, and your membership will work there. It seemed that most of the items in the warehouse were pretty much the same as what I see in North America. If you're staying long enough to consume Costco-sized quantities of food and have some Kirkland favorites, swing by there before you head out into the countryside. Spas. There are a number of premium geothermal spas around Iceland, but they can be expensive. The Blue Lagoon and Sky Lagoon in Reykjavik are over $100 US per person for admission. Smaller spas like Lagervatn Fontana or Akureyri's Forest Lagoon are about half that price. And if you're looking for an even more affordable swim, almost every town in Iceland also has a geothermal heated public swimming pool where admission is under 15 US dollars. I took my son to the Laugardalslag pool in Reykjavik, and we had a great time. Money. I've been to Iceland 5 times, and I'm yet to actually touch any Icelandic cash. You don't need to bring currency to exchange. Credit cards are accepted literally everywhere. However, check before you depart to be sure your card doesn't charge any extra fees for international transactions. Travel in Iceland doesn't have to break the bank. With a little advanced planning and the right mindset, you can have the adventure of a lifetime without going broke. Thanks for tuning in. A subscribe is sincerely appreciated and helps me to continue the channel.